Hey there, it's CJ Willie, and I'm cracking a pack. Today I'm back to crack the final pack in the original Theros block, Journey into Nyx. So what will I get? What will I hope to get? I'm hoping to get a Mana Confluence, the Johnny Mentor of Heroes. As usual, my review is going to be from a very casual Magic the Gathering player perspective. You know, just having fun with friends on the kitchen table. Starting off, we have Humbler of Mortals, 6 mana, 4 and 2 green. It's an enchantment creature elemental at 5/5. It has Constellation. Whenever Humbler of Mortals or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Constellation was a new mechanic introduced in Journey into Nyx. It actually made enchantments matter. Next up is Nyx Infusion, 3 mana, 2 and a black, enchantment or enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 as long as it's an enchantment. Otherwise, it gets -2/-2. Works really well with your enchantment creatures. If not, it's an expensive dead weight to kill off one of your opponent's creatures. Harvest Guard Alcids, 3 mana, 2 and a white, enchantment creature nymph at 2/3. Has Constellation. Whenever Harvest Guard Alcids or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, prevent all damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn. It's going to give your creature pseudo indestructible. Just attack him with any creature. Next is Returned Reveller, 2 mana, 1 and a black, Zombie Satyr at 1/3. When Returned Reveller dies, each player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. It's going to mill you. Maybe you need some stuff in your graveyard. Theros did have a graveyard theme to it. Mills your opponent for 3 cards. It's a really blah 2 mana creature at 1/3. Next is Crewfix Insight at 3 mana, 2 and a green. It's a sorcery. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. Put up to 3 enchantment cards from among them into your hand and the rest of the revealed cards into your graveyard. In Limited, this is a pretty strong card. Green had quite a few enchantment creatures, and there were quite a few enchantments overall in the set. Digging through 6 cards, if you construct your deck correctly for 3 mana, draw 3 cards. Stonewise Fortifier, 2 mana, 1 and a white. It's a human wizard at 2/2. You can pay 4 and a white, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Stonewise Fortifier by target creature this turn. It's got a late game mana sink, prevents combat damage from a target creature. Problem is, later in the game, your opponent can double block it and take out Stonewise Fortifier because you're not going to have enough mana to sink to protect it from both creatures. Rise of Eagles, 6 mana, 4 and 2 blue, sorcery. Put 2/2 blue bird enchantment creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield, scry 1. 6 mana to get 2/2 flyers is okay. Being able to scry 1 is nice, but for 6 mana, it's just not a strong enough card. Fairies band Thunderhoof, 5 mana, 4 and a green, Centaur Warrior at 3/4, has Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Fairies band Thunderhoof, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Fairies band Thunderhoof. Being able to put 2 +1/+1 counters on Fairies band Thunderhoof makes it a 5/6, and pretty soon it can get out of control if it's not dealt with. It turned out to be a pretty strong common in Limited. Blade Tusk Bore, 4 mana, 3 and a red. It's a boar at 3/2. It has Intimidate. It can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or creatures that share a color with it. 4 mana for a 3/2 body with a little bit of evasion and an aggressive red deck. It can work. Deadbringer Lampads, 5 mana, 4 and a black, enchantment creature nymph at 4/2. Constellation, whenever Deadbringer Lampads or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gains Intimidate until end of turn. In Limited, it was a pretty strong mechanic. Playing this on turn 5, giving another creature Intimidate. The evasion was enough to get damage through. First uncommon is Reprisal, 2 mana, 1 and a white, instant, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It can't be regenerated. There were plenty of big beefies running around in the Theros block and into Khans of Tarkir. Reprisal ended up being a decent uncommon because it could take care of those annoying bigger creatures. Next up is Solidarity of Heroes, 2 mana, 1 and a green instant. Choose any number of target creatures, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each of them. It also had the Strive mechanic, which was introduced in Journey into Nyx as well. Solidarity of Heroes cost 1 generic green more to cast for each target beyond the first. You could pour 4 mana into it and choose 2 target creatures. You could pour 6 mana into it, choose 3 target creatures. In Limited, the Strive cards were great mana sinks. You could play them earlier in the game to target a single creature, or you could hold on to the card and later in the game maybe target 2 to 3 other creatures. Our final uncommon is Cyclops of Eternal Fury, 6 mana, 4 and 2 red, enchantment creature Cyclops. It's a 5/3. Creatures you control have haste. It works well in a red-green deck in that after turn 6, you may be drawing into bigger creatures. It has a weird kind of tension to it because on turn 6 it may be your biggest creature, and giving a 1/1 or a 2/2 haste on your next turn is not going to be very impactful in the game. All right, will we get a great rare or mythic rare? We have Skybind. 5 mana, 3 and 2 white, enchantment. Has Constellation. Whenever Skybind or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, exile target non-enchantment permanent. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This didn't really take off anywhere. Not in Limited, not in Constructed. The difficulty was there were a lot of enchantment creatures and a lot of enchantments running around, but it had a weird tension between, do you need to split your deck between playing enchantments, non-enchantments, to be able to take advantage of the triggered ability for Skybind. And then a mountain and a 1/3 enchantment creature spider token. My favorite card, or best card of the pack, is going to be Solidarity of Heroes. It fits really well into a Hardened Scales deck where not only will you be able to double the +1/+1 counters on a creature, but because of Hardened Scale, you're going to add a few more counters onto it. Green-white typically has a +1/+1 counters theme, and Solidarity of Heroes fits nicely into that strategy. Unfortunately, my return to the Theros original block and cracking packs from each of the 3 sets yielded little if any value. In Theros, I got Titan of the Eternal Flame, which is the lowest value rare you can get in the set. In Born of the Gods, I got Fated Return, and then Skybind is probably one of the worst pulls you can get off Journey into Nyx. Although it was really fun to crack these packs and look back, the value just wasn't there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please subscribe and share. Take some time to tell me in the comments section what was your favorite card or the best card of the pack. Until next time, when I'm back to crack my next pack of Magic the Gathering.